Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Today we are going to have a practice on writing a summary. So before proceeding towards the lesson, I'm going to pass you some important instructions related to your assignment. As when we were attending the classes in the university, when we were attending on-campus classes, at that time we started practicing on writing an essay on women rights in Islam. So as this is the right time to complete the assignments, and I'm going to announce the date that on 15th December till 12 p.m. on 15th December 2020, you have to submit your assignment on or before 15th December. One thing. The other thing is that your assignment should be written in MS Word format and then converted into PDF file. I mean to say that you are advised to write your assignment in MS Word format and then convert it into PDF and then submit it into submit in assignment section in Google Classroom. The other thing is that you have to maintain the limit of words that should not exceed to 300 words. The third instruction is that
सर
जी
सर पहले आपने 350 वर्ड्स बताए थे
300 words, not 350, 300 words. And along with that, there is another instruction that when you have to, when we were attending online classes, there we have written or we have done a lot of practice on it. So now you are just going to submit the final draft. So do not add any type of heading, do not add any type of comments. यानी आप उसमें कोई हेडिंग या कमेंट वगैरह नहीं लिखेंगे. आप सिंपल MS वर्ड में अपना सारे का सारा ऐसे लिख के उसको भिजवा देंगे. ठीक है. सो डू नॉट राइट एनीथिंग एल्स. समझ आ गई बात. उसके ऊपर वर्ड्स के ऊपर कमेंट आपने नहीं करने. ये थीसिस स्टेटमेंट है ब्ला ब्ला ब्ला. आई विल बी चेकिंग इट, आई विल बी investigating it whether you have completed the standard or not. Whatever we have studied during the classes, whether you have followed those instructions or not, I'll be checking those things. So this is all about those instructions. So you have to submit in. You are not allowed to submit your assignment via email or via WhatsApp. Just follow one medium, that is Google Classroom, and do it before the deadline. If you will submit your assignment after the deadline, ultimately you will be penalized. So do it before the deadline, as you have already done it. So do it before Sunday, so that if you have any problems, we can encounter those problems, we can notice it. So that's all the instruction related to writing, submitting your assignment. हाथ से लिखी हुई नहीं जमा करानी. MS वर्ड पे लिखेंगे, उसको PDF में कन्वर्ट करेंगे, गूगल क्लासरूम में जमा करवाएंगे. 15 तारीख से पहले जमा करवाएंगे. और ना WhatsApp पे रिसीव की जाएगी, ना ईमेल पे, सिर्फ गूगल क्लासरूम में होगी. और 300 वर्ड से ज़्यादा लिमिट आपने नहीं एक्सीड करनी. 50 वर्ड्स का पैराग्राफ, 50 to 60 वर्ड का पैराग्राफ बनाएं, बस. दैट्स ऑल. सो ट्राई टू फॉलो द इंस्ट्रक्शंस एंड all the instructions that have been given to you during your essay writing lessons. ठीक है, उनको follow करते हुए चलना. So now let's have a practice on writing a summary. So in previous lecture we have talked about writing a summary, and we have also talked about the rationale behind adding this chapter, adding this lesson, that as being a students of BS, we are supposed to write research projects, research assignments. So we are bound to read research papers, we are bound to read research articles, different things, and we have to summarize, we have to paraphrase the material that we read. So for that purpose, we need to enhance our reading and writing skills both, as summary writing is based on reading and writing both skills. So first you have to read the paragraph carefully at least 3 times, and after that you have to write its summary. First you have to write the first draft, then you have to look at the problems with it, then you have to match it with the original text, and then you have to write the final draft, and then you have to submit it to your teacher. So as we are going to do it now, as we are going to practice writing a summary, So once again, I'm going to have a recap before we are going to proceed towards writing a summary. That summarizing is an important skill in academic writing, and it enables you to extract the most important points from a text and rewrite them in your own words in a shortened form. As you read a lot of material and you just note down important points, then you have to write them down in your own language. So the content must be same. You can change the structure, you can change the form, but you have to focus on the content. That the information provided in the original text should not lose its value, should not lose its original in the summarized form. So these skills are invaluable when you're not taking and researching, we are not taking and researching for an essay, especially if you are given a task to write an essay on any topic. So you read a lot, you get a lot of material, and you get an access on online resources, and then when you read those resources, then you summarize the material, you know, down points. So try to avoid copying the same material even in essay writing, so that you could get an opportunity to enhance your writing skills. So being able to write a good summary also demonstrate that you have fully understood the text you are reading. So this is another thing. The first thing is that you have read, and the other, when you write, basically you tell the reader that you have understood the text. ठीक है, मतलब आपको अच्छी तरह पता चल गया. If you fail to convey the right message given in the original text, it means that you didn't understand the text. So although it is conversion of a long text into a shortest form, but you will never delete important points from the original text. So now we are going to we are going to start activities. The first activity is related to recognizing a good summary. So in this activity, we are going to learn about different techniques used to create a good summary, like nominalization, making a noun from verbs. Like you can say, there are some words that can be, there are some verbs that can be used as nouns, or verbs. From verbs we make nouns. So nominalization, you have to look at that, changing adverbs to adjectives, breaking up long sentences into shorter sentences, and joining short sentences together with linking verbs, linking words like coordinators and subordinators. So let's see that how we are going to do it. Let's summarize this sentence. So first we'll start doing it from from sentence to sentence. So read the sentence and decide which of the summary sentence best summarizes the original sentence. So who is going to read it? Um,
Read the sentence and decide which of the summary sentence best summarizes the original sentence. One of the most commonly practiced activities in modern day society is traveling between two countries on a huge mechanical device which has two wings and a tail for engines and for no other purpose than for pleasure.
okay.
Now,
Okay, so this is a sentence. So let's see that how we have summarized it. So think about it. Which one is the best option? So entire class is advised to think about it. सोचिए जी इसके ऊपर. Which one is the best option? हाँ जी, इसको सोच के बताइएगा, ठीक है? कोई बता सकते हैं? Anyone who has got the idea which one is the best one?
Sir, according to me, B वाला ठीक है.
In recent
मतलब
times,
should be.
okay.
Yes.
Okay, let's see. Let's see. Anyone else who is not, who do not agree with her? हाँ जी, कोई और जो इसके साथ एग्री नहीं करता? So all agreed? If all agreed, let's move towards the summary.
Yes.
In recent times, air travel has become very popular. This summary sentence incorporates the notion of air travel, an increase in popularity, and a sense of time nowadays. So these were the key ideas from original sentence. So what you have to you have to look at the original idea. So once you have looked at the original idea, so definitely you will find out that which one is providing you the original idea. So alternative summary does not include the idea of an increase in popularity. दूसरे के अंदर जो है ना ये this one इसके अंदर increase in popularity की बात नहीं की जा रही, but this is basically dealing with all the important points. So when you are going to look at the sentence, as you have to summarize, when you are going to summarize, so you have to look at each sentence whether it is important or not, and each sentence, phrase or clause whether it is important to be added or not. Then you have to note down the key points. So which are the key points? So you have to note down key points and then you have to rewrite them in your own language. You can change its form, you can change its structure, but you have to write the original information. So same is the case here in this sentence. In recent times, air travel has become very popular. Okay, let's look at the other one. हाँ जी, इस पे बताएं जी.
Sir, A.
Which one?
First one, A.
Okay, first let's read the paragraph. 003 next आपके बाद कौन है? Next बंदा 008 है?
004.
Okay, हाँ
Sir,
जी.
004.
004 प्लीज बोलिए जी, बताइए, सेंटेंस पूरा पढ़िए, पूरी स्लाइड पढ़िए. रीड द स्लाइड. 004 is whether she is mute or her mic may not be working. So next one please. Who is the next one?
008.
Yes, 8.
Coffee made from adding water. Coffee made from adding water to the ground cocoa beans is dark brown in color, quite bitter drink, and is rapidly becoming preferred triple of many persons throughout the world. Number 8, coffee is gaining popularity, and number B, coffee is dark brown and quite bitter.
So which sentence is having complete information? Which sentence is better explaining the entire sentence? Which option is better explaining the entire sentence? So what is your answer? Please tell me.
A, sir.
Alpha?
A.
Yes, sir.
Coffee is gaining popularity. So why? Because it maintains the idea of the original sentence and leaves out non-essential information. The color and taste, these are because this is the main idea. Coffee is gaining popularity, right? Rapidly becoming preferred. So this is one, coffee rapidly becoming, so this is what gaining popularity. So that's why we say that this is the right option. The color, the taste, these are irrelevant sentences as these are expressed by relative clause. So alternative summary reports the color and the taste. It does not give us the important information in the sentence, that is it is rapidly becoming a preferred tuple. ठीक है? So this one is giving us complete information as it is gaining popularity. As when we were attending classes, when we were talking about writing a summary, and I told you that please avoid writing explanations, avoid writing um, examples. So just write that information, the one that is very important. So entire sentence can be condensed into this one shortest sentence, that coffee is gaining popularity. Okay. So next please. Next. कौन है जी? Next.
Sir,
Pardon.
पढ़िए. Please read out.
Let's summarize. Read the sentence and decide which of the summary sentences best summarizes the original sentence. Increase in the movement of population, food and livestock added to an increase in the use of fossil fuels, an overall increase of pollution from cars, factories and industrial chemicals in addition to a demand for more efficient and cheaper air travel are creating more extreme problems than the gradual temperature issues related to our planet at the moment. A. 21st century life is causing global warming to become increasingly serious. B. People are moving more and are using their cars to do this. In addition, they are eating more food and are traveling more. This means that they are causing pollution. Pollution is creating the global warming effect, which is slowly becoming a more and more serious problem.
Okay, please read out the text and find the suitable one, and please you have to explain it also. So सोचिए इसके ऊपर, please focus on it.
Sir, option A is more precise than option B और उसमें बहुत ज़्यादा irrelevant information दी हुई है.
The option A.
A.
Why option A is better? Why?
Because it precised the whole paragraph in just one sentence, sir.
Okay, let's see. Basically, if you look at the original text, we come to know that the first one, 21st century life is causing global warming to become increasingly serious. That is the correct option because it gives the main idea, temperature warming becoming a serious problem. This is the main idea that it is dealing. ठीक है? This one, temperature warming becoming a serious problem. Then it makes a logical summary of the rest of the information by referring to things such as travel, pollution and population growth in 20. So these are summary of the rest of, ये सारी की सारी logical summary है. So actual बात ये है, temperature warming becoming serious problem. ठीक है? So we have to focus on only and only important details, only and only important information. That's why we have opted for the first sentence, not the second option. So let's summarize these sentences. पहले हमने एक एक को किया. Now we are going to summarize 3 sentences. Let's see इनको कैसे करना है. Let's try. आपने बनाना है, बनाने के बाद the one who has done with it, please just आप बता दें सर मैंने कर लिया है. So then we look at the one that we have in the answer. ठीक है, possible answer. So let's match with it. ठीक है, you have to match with it. पहले अपना बनाएं, then look at the possible answer so that you would come to know how much you have got an accuracy, how much you have learned. ठीक है, कितना आपने सीख लिया. So it's your time now. We are having 5 minutes time, and in these 5 minutes we'll be writing a summary. We will be summarizing these 3 sentences. Okay. when you are going to
So,
summarize, when you are going to summarize, so remember that you are just going to get the important points from the text, and then you are going to rewrite it in your own language. So focus on focus on content and avoid the form, avoid the exact original. ठीक है, उसी को as it is नहीं लिखना, बल्कि आपने अपने हिसाब में लिखना है. Okay, we'll be looking at the answers, possible answers, we'll be looking at those. You can have a screenshot. I've got answers in the next slide. Yes, next one. Swine flu, a strain of the H1N1 influenza virus, is a strange and harmful viral infection which is currently sweeping across the globe, instigating both sickness and death, causing people to fall into states of pandemonium and panic. ये इस तरह नहीं हो सकता स्वाइन फ्लू इज अ डेंजरस वायरस. Swine flu is a harmful virus infection, dangerous viral infection. Swine flu. बाकी सारी चीज़ें इसको
yes, sir.
बाकी सारी चीज़ इसी को एक्सप्लेन करें. We'll be getting the answers in the next slide. ठीक है. So the last one, the formal testing of knowledge which takes place annually is a cause of great stress and concern for most students.
Sir, मैंने क्या लिखे formal testing knowledge causing anxiety in students.
Yes, ये भी हो सकता है कि most of the students, इसको इस तरह भी आप कर सकते हैं, फॉर्म ही आप इसको चेंज कर दें. Most students face anxiety due to formal testing of knowledge. क्या ख्याल है? आपने उसकी फॉर्म ही चेंज कर दी ना, पैसे वैसे. Okay, so let's see the answer, possible suggested answers. University professor expert in their field and have often written books. Swine flu is causing a global pandemic.
सर मैंने यही लिखा था स्वाइन फ्लू का.
Okay.
Sir, first one मेरा somehow ठीक है. University professor, experts in their fields and study मैंने लिख दिया था sir.
Well, that's good. देखिए, basically we have to try. We have to try to reach at the accuracy. We have to try to reach at these suggested answers. So that this is basically a practice कि जब आप इस तरह लिखना शुरू करेंगे, with the passage of time you will be able to write very good summary. You will be able to write at your own. So you will not face problems. I told you that topics like these, writing a summary, writing a prescient summary, are almost similar things. So when we are writing these things, we are going to learn some important aspects related to research. As when we'll be doing research, we'll be writing a research projects, research papers or thesis. There we have to face problems. So instead of facing problems in your practical life, practical academic life, do face it here in class and try to learn it. Okay, that's good. So let's go towards another one. So now we are going to summarize a paragraph. As we have there we have add sentences. Now we are going to summarize a paragraph. So look at this one. Yes, एक बच्चा पढ़े जी, लास्ट जिसने पढ़ा था उससे नेक्स्ट वन प्लीज रीड आउट द स्लाइड.
सर रोल नंबर 15 है.
15, please read out slide.
In academic writing, texts are usually more than one sentence long. They can be quite long in length and made of several paragraphs. You will therefore need to extract the relevant information from each paragraph when making a summary. Choose the best summary of the paragraph. Remember to focus on the main point of the paragraph. Try not to include non-essential information.
Yes, do not include non-essential information. That in academic writing, texts are usually more than one sentence long. They can be quite long in length and made up of several paragraphs. You'll need to extract the relevant information from each paragraph when making a summary. Choose the best summary of the paragraph. Remember to focus on the main points of the paragraph. Try not to include non-essential information. So now in the next slide, we are going to have a paragraph. We are going to look at the paragraph. This is a paragraph. Please read it. First इसको read करें और जो next बच्चा है उसकी बारी है. Please read the slide. Then have a screenshot. Note down important points. Okay, so after that, once you are done, sir, we have noted the important points, then let's go towards the next slide and we'll be looking at the possible summary, which one is the best one. Okay, so please पढ़ें जी.
There are various ways of preparing for cultural shock. It is helpful to learn as much of the language as possible before going to the country to learn about the new culture, in particular aspects such as time differences, communication, conflict resolution, climate, standards of living, transportation, ethical practices, holidays, superstitions, taboos, and technology. However, something that is extremely difficult to prepare for is what to know as eco-shock, the result of a person's psychological reaction to a new drive or change ecology. A typical example of this being travel
Dysthymia.
or jet lag or
They
jet
die.
lag
Yes, I. इसकी.
when people when
Okay.
people's biological clock have problems synchronizing with the
Synchronizing.
local synchronizing with the local time. Psychological adjustment to the temperature, humidity, and altitude are also features of eco-shock. These are general cope within the initial stage of cultural shock rather than being prolonged difficulties in the process of adjustment to life in a new country. For these who take frequent short trips abroad, however, eco-shock may be the most difficult part of dealing with cultural shock since they do not experience its various longer-term phases.
Okay, so please uh, note down important points in your notebook. Once you're done, then we are going to look at the summary in the next paragraph. Have you noted the points?
Sir, this whole paragraph can just be in a one sentence. मैंने इसको एक sentence में लिख लिया सारा.
Oh, that's fine. That's good. That's good. Let's
The
see.
cultural shock.
You can say that preparing for cultural shock. So this is one sentence. This is the content. Basically, ways of preparing for cultural shock. Shock. कौन से ways हैं? This is basically content, ना? Topic sentence है. Ways of preparing for cultural shock. So you have to look at the ways. There are certain ways, or you can say directly. You can narrate the ways for ways of preparing for cultural shock are these. बस कौन से हैं वो आप लिख देंगे तो paragraph will be summarized. स्टेट वे कि ये तरीक़ेकार हैं. साइकोलॉजिकल एडजस्टमेंट टू द टेम्परेचर, लाइक, so anything else? Okay, so are you done with it? So we should proceed to the next slide if you're done. So let's see which one is the best option. बताएं जी इधर. So there are three. As you told that there is one that you have written in one sentence, so you can look at the one, look at the options. So अभी किसकी टर्न है पढ़ने की? ज़रा पढ़े जी. Whose turn is now? हाँ जी, 003 बोलिए, किसकी बारी है?
17.
17 please. 17 is sleeping. Next.
There are नहीं सर मैं जाग रही हूँ.
अच्छा ठीक है. Okay, please.
There are many ways of getting ready for cultural shock. It is useful to learn as much of the language as you can before going there. To learn about the new traditions and particular factors such as attitude to time, talking, arguments, weather, poverty, getting around moral practices, vocations, beliefs areas which cause discussions and innovations. However, something that is very difficult to get ready for is what is known as e-shocks, the sum of a person's psychological and
Physiological
physiological
and
and
psychological. Physiological and
physiological
psychological.
physiological and psychological reactions to a new, diverse, or changed ecology. A typical example of this being travel problems or jet lag, which people's inner clocks have problems matching up with the local time. Bodily adjustment to the climate changes in the water, in the air, and height are also features of e-shock. Though these are generally dealt within the first stage of cultural shock rather than being extended difficulties in the process of changing of life in a new nation. For those who take short trips around often, trips abroad often, however, e-shocks may be the
Eco
most
shocks.
difficult
Eco.
part of
Basically, this word is eco shock. Okay. Eco shock. E shock.
eco-shock.
Yes.
Eco-shock may be the most difficult part of accepting cultural shock, as they do not experience its many longer-term phases. Preparing for
Okay.
cultural
Okay.
shock may
Okay.
be
Okay.
done in
Just a minute. Just a minute. So anyone who agree with this, is it? Can it be a summary? Anybody who says that this can be the best summary? As I told you that you have to note down content words, you have to note down important points. So after noting down important points, everybody is silent that this is not a summary. So let's read the next one. Please read.
Preparing for cultural shock can be done in many different ways, but you can't really prepare for eco shock, which is potentially the most difficult part of the cultural shock.
Yes, anyone who agree with it?
सर मुझे तो ये सही लग रहा है.
Okay.
Second वाला सही है.
Okay, next पढ़िए जी. Let's see.
Preparation for cultural shock can take different forms. Example, learning about the target culture and learning the language. However, preparing for particular aspects of culture shock, such as eco shock, is more difficult because it is hard to adjust one's body to local time, weather, humidity, and altitude. Features features such as these are usually experienced in the initial rather than later stages of cultural shock.
So anybody who agrees that the last one is the right option? Okay, let's see that which one is the best option. The last one, okay? The last one is the best option, and majority remained silent, and we all, most of you were agreed with the second one, but that was too condensed because that was not a good summary. It was too short, and it was lacking all of the essential information. As when we were studying summary, I told you that when you're going to write it, you have to look for the topic word, then topic sentence, then all the things related to your topic, important details only that you have to mention. So the second one is too short, whereas the first one is too long, and it is not, and as it has just copied the original passage and only few words have been changed. As we were talking about the summary, that you should not um, just copy the original words, rather you should make it your own. ठीक है, this could be considered plagiarism इसी को कहा जाता है. So now, as your another question has also been answered, that you have to avoid plagiarism when you are writing your essay assignment. ठीक है, वहाँ पे भी आप इस चीज़ को avoid करेंगे. So try to write it in your own words. ठीक है, so apply your complete writing process. Write first draft, then final draft, proofread it so that it should not have any mistakes in it. ठीक है. So the third one is the right option because it is dealing with all the important details. ठीक है जी, any question related to this answer है तो बताइए, otherwise have a look at that it looks the right choice. Okay, so let's move towards writing a summary. Now you have to practice summarizing a paragraph of a text. So this time you will not be provided any sample, no help. So remember that you have to include all the essential details, information, and main points. So in the next slide, we are having a text and you have to summarize it. Yes, have a screenshot and start writing a summary. So what you have to do is note down important points, important details, content words, then try to avoid these mistakes, that it should not be too short, it should not be too long, it should not be a copy of the original text, it should not lose any important information, it should contain all the important informations. So have a screenshot and write a summary. So you've got 10 minutes because at 11:05 there will be, the class will end. So I'll show you the possible summary. Okay, so do it so that at the end we can have a look at the possible summary too.
सर स्क्रीनशॉट लेने से वो कॉल एंड हो जाती है.
ओके अभी यहाँ पे कर लें, मैं भी अपने माइक को म्यूट पहले करने लगा था, आप यहाँ पे कर लें. ठीक है, सो अभी आप कर लें यहाँ पे. ठीक है जी.
फिर करते हैं.
लिखें नहीं, यहाँ से लिख रहे हैं. ठीक है, डू राइट योर समरी, राइट द इंपॉर्टेंट डिटेल्स. when you are reading an unseen passage, so you can utilize online dictionary. You can get the help of art paper dictionary to find out similar words to replace with those words. You are advised to remove adjectives. You are advised to remove adverbs. So adverbs and adjectives are basically adding, most of the time they are adding extra details. So do not add those things when you are writing your summary. So and anything that looks unimportant for you, so remove it and just go for procedure is this, that when you are writing, so you have to note down important points, then you have to write it down, simply write it down, try to make a sentence, complete sentence, and look at that whether this is going to make a right type of a paragraph, because when you are writing a summary you have to follow the same pattern, the pattern that we studied while talking about paragraph writing, so especially while talking about body paragraph. Sometimes you are provided with one paragraph to summarize, and sometimes you are provided with more than one paragraph to summarize. So do it that way. So should we move towards summary? Should we have a look at that? Okay, let's see what is the possible answer. So look at the possible answer, as the time is quite short. So look at the answer. This is the possible answer for that text. हाँ जी, इसको पढ़िए जी. नेक्स्ट किसकी टर्न थी?
Sir, 20.
20, please read out. Read out this slide. ट्वेंटी के बाद नेक्स्ट किसकी बारी है?
23.
यस, 23 प्लीज. नेक्स्ट.
24.
24.
In between,
Yes, पढ़िए.
in, in between the official public facilities offered to the public are a chain of small, undetected safe havens for people without homes. Such places found in and amongst open spaces and primary roads in and out of the city have hierarchies and social orders in which the people who frequent them consume food and drink, shelter from the elements, and maintain their addictive behavior, quite often without threat of exterior intervention. Consequently, bidirectional transfers of resources takes place as the people who inhabit these places plead for money, make and socialize with friends, and seek refuge. Using these pockets of life as a base, they construct trails through the city which guarantee a pitch from which to solicit for money and from which to obtain free food. Dependent on which city you frequent, these trials differ accordingly.
So this is just a possible answer. So don't take it for granted. You're not so competent that you'll start writing the same answer or the same thing. You have to rely on your own skills. You have to rely on your own vocabulary, your own capabilities. So just do it like that. ठीक है? This is just a possible answer. This is we cannot say that this is the right answer. Right answer is that, as I told you, that it should not contain the original passage, but it must contain the original information. The more you are lacking the original passage, material of the original passage, the content of but lesser you are having the information, definitely you are producing the worst answer, not the best one. So when you are having more you are providing the information from the original text, and less you are using the original content or original text, so definitely you are going to produce the possible best answer. ठीक है? यानी जब आप ओरिजिनल आंसर से जितना कम मवाद आप उठाएंगे, मीन्स उसका ओरिजिनल टेक्स्ट जितना कम उठाएंगे उतना अच्छा आप जवाब बनाएंगे. मालूमात जो उसके अंदर दी हुई हैं, यू हैव टू राइट द सेम इंफॉर्मेशन इन योर समरी. इंफॉर्मेशन आपने नहीं छोड़नी, आपने फॉर्मेट छोड़ना, फॉर्म उसकी छोड़नी है, उसका टेक्स्ट वर्ड्स अपने चेंज करके आपने लिखना है. ठीक है? सो इट्स गोइंग टू बी ऑल फॉर यू. क्लास आपकी कंप्लीट हो गई है. सी यू इन द नेक्स्ट वीक with your assignments. Inshallah, I'll be updating the details related to summary writing in Google Classroom, और आप लोग उधर ही अपलोड करेंगे. ठीक है? ओके जी, दैट्स ऑल फॉर टुडे. अस्सलाम वालेकुम रहमतुल्लाह.